That really what it is. It's governance about what can I get. You're welcome. This is Agenda, and this is where we treat issues, pressing issues in Nigeria and in the country, anywhere around the country, and even in the world, as the case may be. You're welcome. My name is Philip Ihaza, and this edition promises to be very interesting. We want to apologize briefly for starting a little late, and we'll just go straight to the topic since we've run a little into our time. Now, the topic for today is reviewing President Jonathan's Surep program. Okay, and what is Surep? Subsidy Reinvestment and Empowerment Program. That is Surep. You know how we do it. We always give you a background information of what this whole issue is all about. And don't forget, you can be a part of it. That is how interesting we can enjoy the show together. As you be a part of it, you send a comment to agenda@loveworldplusnews.net. You're welcome once again. Now, the federal government's Subsidy Reinvestment and Empowerment Program, Surep, is a government response to the public demand for judicious utilization of the savings from the partial removal of petroleum subsidy. As we all know, it started after the Christmas gift or New Year gift, as the case may be, in 2012, when the fuel subsidy was almost taken out completely, but increased to 97 naira as the price of fuel. Now, the Surep program is currently in troubled waters over the sum of 2.2 billion naira reportedly spent on secretarial services. Well, a further 75 million naira is said to have been spent on tours and travels from July to October, that is 4 months, by the highly esteemed and renowned Dr. Christopher Kolade-led program. The lawmakers were outraged as these facts emerged from the document submitted by the program chairman to the National Assembly. Now, the question we would like to answer in today's edition of the agenda is how viable is the project itself? Now, does this program, the Surep, have the projects of fulfilling the mandate for which it was set up? These are some questions, and these and more we'll hope to analyze in this edition. I'll definitely not be doing it alone. My part is to ask the questions, and I have a distinguished guest in the studio to do some justice to the questions. His name is Jude Obidi. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Nice to have you. It's been a while.
Yes.
All right, he is a legal practitioner and public policy analyst. You're welcome once again.
Thank you very much.
All right, where do we start from? The topic again is reviewing President Jonathan's Surep program, the Subsidy Reinvestment and Empowerment Program. Now, do you think the Surep project has the prospects to make any impressive impact on the life of Nigerians?
Yeah, once again, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
I think to be fair with the question, it's important for us to understand how come about Surep. Surep is an initiation by the government, initiative of government to address issues concerning basic social amenities and other capital projects that Nigerians have been yearning and crying for over the years. You know, the federal government felt that rather than the monumental waste in so-called subsidy payments made, Nigerians are beginning to be more aware now about this whole issue of subsidy. The argument has been canvassed whether actually there was a subsidy,
yes,
and all that. So, but I think it's a good intention on the part of government. And then the way and manner the government has proposed to go about it is also something that is of interest to me, particularly. If you look at the kind of budgets that we have been running in this country for the past 10 years or more, where the recurrent expenditure often takes bulk or chalk,
yes, a larger percentage
of the total budget. No economy can grow with that kind of budget. And so it's a good initiative by the government to say, look, let us do things in a different way and see if we can get results, particularly in the capital projects. To mention but a few, the Ore Road, the Aba Port Harcourt Road, the Onitsha Enugu Road, they're almost abandoned because federal government has often cried out to say, look, we don't have enough money to execute this project. And so I think the Surep, if we can support the program,
if Nigerians can really support the program, we give us the dividends that we all been crying for. So what you're saying is you're placing a good thumbs up to the initiative.
Yes. Emphatically,
okay.
yes.
So we need to now find out why the initiative is not effective, because a lot of people say it is not, as the case may be. Now, creating jobs and empowering people are two major factors or two major characteristics that this program, the Surep, is supposed to have. Do you think using funds allocated monthly from the Federation account, do you think this has been the case, creating jobs and empowering people?
I think, to be very fair with the committee led by the distinguished gentleman, Chief Christopher Kolade, I think it is too early to really begin to say, some issues coming out from the National Assembly, particularly concerning the performance of the committee. I think it is too early to begin to say, to give them, to say they are not working, or it's another way of government siphoning money and all that and all that. I think rather, you see, the issue is this. As a people, we're used to a particular style over the years, and whenever anybody is bringing anything, any change, it's like anywhere. It's always resisted, you know. But I don't know, and I don't understand the reason the National Assembly at this stage should be crying foul over the programs and being rolled out by the Surep committee.
Okay.
I think we should give them a chance to work.
More chance.
Yes, we should give them chance. I believe in the integrity of the persons who have been given the responsibility to man the Surep scheme, and I am of the opinion that, you know, let me say, for example, one of the major problems we've had in this country in the execution of contracts has always been compromise, corruption. Yeah, sure. You know. And again, the administrative system that we have in place, bureaucracy in the ministry, in our various ministries, the kind of bureaucracy that we operate will be very, very difficult for Nigerians to expect the kind of results you know, in the area of infrastructure. I don't know if you, even to the local government level, the process of bidding for contracts, I mean, let's not deceive ourselves. Here's a government who's saying, look, let us do business in a different way.
So are you saying in a different way? Are they supposed to be independent to do or carry out the
Yes, of course. The mandate is, if you look at the modus operandi handed over to them by Surep, you realize that they're not going to go through the conventional system of the bureaucracy that through the ministries and all that, getting approval by the tenders board and the ministry before contracts are
so once they're allocated any monthly money, they just go ahead and pick a project.
I think the way we should be concerned, which is a Nigerian factor, is how are we sure, because of the deceits Nigerians have experienced previously. But I think it's good to give them benefit of the doubt. Allow this committee to work in the interest of. I've seen the outlines and the projects that they want to embark on.
That they want to embark on.
Yes.
They've already spent 2.2 billion naira. That's my point. I agree with you that they are early and we should give them more time. If you're asking for more time for the Surep, then what about the monies already allocated to them, already spent? The Senate, we all know they also have their own issues, maybe of maybe not being truthful, not being so transparent, or maybe might have an alleged corrupt practice, you know. But then they have said that they spent 75 million naira in 4 months. I don't know. Do you think they still need more time? Let's look at the personality behind this program, because initially a lot of people knew it's more like the Christopher Kolade program than even the name of the program. So that means that this man should have a personality that we should be interested in. Why do you think they picked Christopher Kolade?
Well, if you look at the antecedents of Chief Christopher Kolade, yes. And then he is a man highly respected who distinguished himself in his field of broadcasting, and has made a name for himself. And he's one Nigerian that we can trust. I don't have any problem with his personality and the responsibility given to him. I believe that Nigerians will support him give him all the necessary support to succeed. And we must understand some of the militating factor in previous executions in Nigeria. It's not just about the integrity of the person who is administering
because I'm going to hold that
and all that.
Yes,
we've seen previous personalities, and at the end of the day, nothing came out of it. But I think that the programs drawn up by this committee, the direction that they have shown to Nigerians that they are going, it's, for example, I said when Professor Jega was appointed, was appointed as the head of the electoral body. Nigerians felt, nobody's going to make the magic. But he's the right man. He's got integrity and all that. But Nigeria is a place where some even said if you bring Jesus Christ to conduct an election and all that. But to be fair, for the first time in Nigeria, we see that it's possible to conduct free and fair elections.
To an extent.
To an extent. So integrity of a person matters. And I think Chief Christopher Collard is one personality that Nigeria should support to deliver in this regard.
From the areas where he's handled, he was the CEO and chairman of Cadbury Nigeria Limited,
veteran broadcaster,
and Director General of the NBC, Nigerian Broadcasting Corporation, High Commissioner to the UK. In fact,
and not just the bodies and all that that he has, his performances. Those are the things that were considered. He's particularly in the area of broadcasting. He performed creditably.
And now he's in oil. I really don't know what's the relationship. He's known as a veteran broadcaster. He's been more in the educational sector, enhancing lives.
In every sector.
Okay, I like that. So we do not have anybody credible in the oil sector to represent or reform that part.
Well, the responsibility of Surep has nothing to do with being in the oil sector.
You have to be.
It has to be Nigerians who want infrastructure. We want first-class road network. We want good hospitals. We don't want to be spending billions of naira every year traveling to India for medical health care and losing lots of monies and all that. And what are schools? If you hear the statistics of Nigerians who are studying outside this country, it's alarming.
It's a source of revenue to those countries.
It's a source of revenue.
I want to quickly take a comment. Well, you're watching the agenda in case you're just joining us and you haven't missed so much yet. We're trying to review the president's policy or the president's program, the Surep program, which is headed by the very man himself, Mr. Christopher Collard. And Surep is a subsidy reinvestment and empowerment program. It is meant to reinvest and empower, from what the name implies. Well, we're trying to review it, and the National Assembly themselves are having issues with how far this body has gone, even if it's not up to a year so far. But then they've spent a lot of money, and they're alleging that they've spent over 2.2 billion naira in secretarial services. It's really, really strange. But I want to quickly take a comment, and we'll continue from where we stopped. I have a comment here from, a friend and a very good analyst. Her name is Gimalu Angel Feyi Ologoke from Lagos. She says, she asks, why did Dr. Christopher Collard take such a sensitive position without checking if the whole program was going to be possible? The federal government is downing his reputation. Surep a farce. Is that true? Because it almost looks like, from what she's saying, that's been the case for some time. They take someone with a clean pedigree and try to place the person in coverage of their very bad deeds.
I think we're getting it wrong. I think we're getting it wrong. I remember when criticisms trailed the appointment of Professor Wole Soyinka, took appointment under General Sani Abacha to head the Road Safety Commission. A lot of people said, why should you do that? Why would you want to serve on that? He said, what was his motivation? Not because he wanted to be head of the road safety, but he wants to save life. Nigerians are dying on the road. So it's a call for service. It's a call for service to humanity.
Even when the service or the system is very dirty.
We all know, but we can't abandon the system. We will just keep doing our best until we get, we'll get to where we want to go to.
So what you're saying is, even at the expense of your integrity, you get involved and
it's all about all about what you want to contribute to your society. You see, remember, this is not just about Chief Christopher Kolade. It's about legacy. It's about doing something for your own society. For me, it's a call for service. And he feels he has looked into it. He has seen it that, look, I can do it. And when he was called upon, of course. I mean, how would it have been if when Professor Jega, I keep using him as an example, was called to head INEC and he said, because the system is fraudulent, because there's corruption in the land and all that, and then I'm not going to, no, I don't think it really, that really makes any...
The lawmakers, I still want...
There's a saying that when good people fold their hands and do nothing.
Yeah, evil prevails.
Sure.
Okay, fine. The lawmakers expressed, I agree with you, he's taken the baton and he's there now, and he's been there for some time, and so much, the fact is that so much money has gone into this program so far, and in 2013 budget, the lawmakers are saying that they're frowning actually to the fact that they have to be able to defend how much has gone into secretarial activities and travel and tours, and for them to be able to get some more from the budget. They've also expressed their total dismay and lack of confidence in the activities of this man and his program. They are stressing that the agency was nothing but a duplication of activities. You know how it is in Nigeria. When President Bill Clinton, former president of the United States, visited, he was actually in awe, and he was wondering why so many ministries were in place and so many duplication of activities, and he questioned, but I'm sure he didn't get a proper answer anyway. Now, that's the same light that they bring into this discussion, that it's almost like a duplication of activities already carried out by the existing ministries, departments, and agencies in the country. Because, I mean, they are disbursing cash to other, the same contracts that were supposed to be done, they're also going to embark such contracts. I'm going to be giving you a list of them. So do you think this program is a duplication of activities?
Talking about duplication, you see, with all due respect to the National Assembly, particularly the Senate, constitutionally they have been empowered with the responsibility of an oversight function. It is important that the Senate raises questions such as these and all that and all that. But talking about duplication, remember, when the EFCC, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, was established, a lot of issues was raised again.
That we have the
about
ICPC,
you have the ICPC, you have the police, that what the EFCC is being empowered to do is not different from what the police criminal investigation over the years and all that and all that. You see, it's laughable when people talk this way. Look, you cannot continue to do one thing in the same way and expect a different result. It's not possible. Okay,
that's the definition of a madman anyway.
Nigeria will have been used to a particular system. And we know, just because of hypocrisy, we're all keeping quiet. It's not working. Our bureaucracy is not working. It cannot take us anywhere. We need to do something new. We need to be innovative in our system of government. We need to find other means by which projects can be executed. Okay. Things can work in this country. Duplication or no duplication, that's not the issue. The issue is that we want roads. Nigerians want roads. We want our schools to be rebuilt. We want hospitals. We don't want to go through that bureaucratic process of bidding and going to tenders board and all that and all that. Yes, there's going to be, of course, there's going to be due process. Remember, the Chief Kolade, Christopher Kolade's the scheme is not going to work outside the framework of due process. Or they must work within the confines of the existing laws, particularly in the area of contract bidding and all that and execution. But it's expected that the way and manner they are going to operate will speedily produce results
than the ones that have
than what we have been seeing.
So what happens to the other agencies that have been there? Do we scrap it and let the Christopher Kolade be solely responsible? Because, for example, if they go to a project that was already assigned by another ministry and they get involved in the whole mess. We do not know exactly who to hold because
no,
so many
I don't think there's
involved.
going to be such a conflict.
I have a project like that. I'll bring that to the light very soon. But we need to take a break where we got some comments by mostly notable Nigerians anyway about this whole program, their views and how they feel on the Surep program led by the man himself, Mr. Christopher Kolade. And that will take briefly. And when we come back, there's more on the agenda. Stay tuned. Wow, well, you saw them for yourself, and really harsh statements, if you ask me, as concerning this, the Surep. No wonder they say uneasy is the head that wears the crown, or that lies the crown. You can imagine what Christopher Kolade has gone through by putting his hand into the mess that was already there. Like you said, he's you know, bringing himself, making his own efforts and trying to impact or change situations in the country. I want to take a few points from those comments that we saw by some of the senators there, talking about the East-West Road. I know that road personally, and I'm sure you do. If you're traveling from the western part of the country to the eastern part, you definitely will go through that road. And it's I don't know how to put it, it's in a serious decadence. It's in a serious state that it calls for attention. A lot of agencies have been put in place. Several dispensations of government have gone into that road, and nothing has come out of it. Now the Christopher Kolade, the Surep program, has put their hands into it, and the senators are frowning. What do you think?
You see, it's very disgusting to me, oftentimes when senators are raising very unnecessary issues. You know, for me, these are mere personal opinions. And you see, there's this issue of always jumping to the gallery to want to raise unnecessary issues and all that and all that. Yes, the questions they have asked, the money spent for the secretariat and all that. I don't have the figures, and I'm sure that
he's told to come back with
Kolade himself.
Yes.
So, but let's not go until they come up with whatever they have done with that money. Okay. The issue remains. The issue is this: if I have a system that is not working, and I go around it to get it work, I'll do it. The Surep is an innovation of government. It's an initiative with a good intention of government.
They're always with good intention.
Yes, anyway. Yes. We know those with good intention. We know those without good intention. Okay. We've seen them before. Okay. This is a good intention, and we have to support it. The senators should stop crying foul. We have talking about some of the contracts have been awarded.
They said 58 billion to multinationals.
What have the senators? What have they done about those contracts over the years?
When we have lots of committees, especially.
Exactly. What were the oversight functions for all those contracts? We didn't hear anything from them. No, but you see, we are running. I remember one British I've forgotten his name now, but he's an expert in the aviation industry, making comment about the Nigerian, the rot of the Nigerian Airways at that particular time. It was so touching when he made that statement. That's a man who really understands our system. He said that the Nigerian Airways was not only wrongly managed, it was well managed to rot.
Okay. So that was the drive to.
That is it. We operate a system where projects are managed to rot.
Wow.
Government projects are systematically managed to rot, all for the purpose of keep getting money from the coffers, re-awarding contracts and all that, variations every day, coming up with different stories about a particular project.
As long as it's tied to the government. So are you saying we should privatize?
You see, I'll come to that.
Okay.
Because government, yes, have a responsibility to provide infrastructures, basic social amenities and all that. But there's a limit to what the government can do. And that's where the private partnership initiative must be adequately engaged. I know states that are already doing it. Lagos State is doing it, and they are beginning to see the result. Yeah. So I think we'll get there, and the federal government is also doing that through some of the road projects. I've heard the Minister of Works talks about it, the progress they've made in the area of PP and all that and all that. So, but the bottom line is this: we have a set of people, politicians and leaders in this country, who have nothing to offer to the system, rather than such criticisms. We've seen it. And these are people who have, go and look at their profiles. They're people who have nothing to offer to this country. They've in their various fields that they have engaged in several years professionally, they have nothing to offer. How to come and tell Nigerians and begin to, we cannot continue to be deceived anymore.
But what do you think is the reason for his statement about giving multinationals 58 billion instead of making it an indigenous project and helping more Nigerians get a job?
Why must you give it to multinationals?
No, that's what the senators are questioning, that Christopher Kolade gave most of the projects to multinationals.
Okay,
yes. Instead of making it a home-based thing and making it indigenous.
Of course, we have the local content act in place, so that should take care of it. If they have issues concerning that, if he has, yes, I mean that can adequately be dealt with the local content if he has not acted within the confines of that provision of the law. Okay. So, but the point is that we have to get this system working, and it's going to take some doggedness, and it's going to take some sacrifice on the part of the people and government to do.
Even prominent Nigerians like
Mr. Christopher. Of course. So I think we should support this scheme. We should support it, and then. I mean, for Christ's sake, how many months have they functioned and they were already busy crying foul and all that? Let's allow this man to work.
Their interest is not, or their worry is not in how many months. It's how much goes into the project. But let me leave that for now. I have another I'll call it an epistle, actually. It's really a long comment here from Peter Port Harcourt. And he says, okay, I'll just try to read it quickly. Nigerian governments are known for replicating agencies. Now, this is his own. And he gives me a punctuation. Number one, he says, what are the duties of ministries of works, transport, Niger Delta, FEMA, etc.? 2, why should a contractor bid for a job only to come back and ask for re-evaluation after collecting 95% of the total sum meant to have completed the project? Should we take it from here, because he has 2 more points, or I should take everything? And then 3, he says, both the contractor and the awarder of the contract are playing with the lives of Nigerians. And lastly, he says, the East-West Road is right now in shambles and will soon cut into 2. The so-called contractors have abandoned the project.
The question is, why did they abandon it?
So who are we supposed to question? The Shopee or the Ministry of Works, the Niger Delta, who steps into several projects?
You see, we have a bureaucracy, we have a system that is not working. That is the point. Now, just have to understand, we have a system, we have a bureaucracy in place that is not working. I mean, when I'm not, anyway, Malam Sanusi made a personal opinion on the issue of reduction of the civil servants to 50%.
Which he has received a lot of fire.
Yes, that is his personal opinion. But maybe in the light of what we're talking about, you see, the bureaucracy, the problem we have in execution of contracts and projects in Nigeria is with the civil service. The bulk of the challenge is in the civil service.
So are you going with what
So you see, until we have a proper reform of the system, we're going nowhere. The same people are going to call Mr. President to say the executive did not perform, is this, is that at the end of his tenure, is the worst president we have ever seen. Let's have someone else. Oh, the next man comes on board.
With a good manifesto.
With a good manifesto. The same criticism begins. So we can't continue to revolve that same way. You know, we can't just continue that way. We have to make progress in this country. We have to allow initiatives that can work, that can produce results. Nigerians want results. We don't want rhetorics. We're tired. Our generation particularly, I remember the road we're talking about, I don't know how many Nigerians who have used that road more than myself. I mean, I know the sufferings that Nigerians are going through on that road. Okay. Right from my days in the university, I know the number of students who died on that road. I know the suffering that Nigerians are going through on that road. So the question is, why is it not working? What does it take?
It's like a cash cow, like no one can.
What does it take? But people are milking.
Milking, exactly. A drain pipe.
Yes.
To farms.
People are milking. It's become, for them, it's an industry. It's their enterprise, their business.
Maybe we should name it East-West Road Limited.
Maybe.
Oh, it's really strange. That platform by the government is really a drain pipe. We have several persons.
So if we're saying, the scheme is saying, the shop is saying, you have awarded this contract, we want to pay. We want to come in. We want to pay. We want to see the extent, how much you have
spent on
the contract.
Take it up.
I mean, you understand. And this is transparent enough. Why shouldn't it be welcomed? Why should it remain in the old form? The senators are used to the old system because they are benefiting from the old system. We are not benefiting from it. We want a change. Nigerians said we want a change. We want infrastructures. We want to travel free on our roads. We want rail system to function. I want to travel from here to Delta State in less than an hour, 30 minutes.
Which is possible in other countries.
It's possible. You know, so we want to have adequate healthcare system in place.
But then, okay, let's go to jobs. This Shopee program has been instituted for, let's say, almost a year now. Don't you think that by now some news, some headlines should have come out or emanated from the activities in terms of job creation? Now, in the report, which the senators rightly criticized, that they have provided 360,000 jobs for the youths, and they couldn't actually justify this, and they're still waiting for more details. 360,000 jobs is enough to cover most of the newspapers. This program has been in play for a long time to this effect. We should have heard about it. What do you think they're doing about job creation? Job creation, empowerment of the people, those are the two major issues.
You see, talking about job creation, let me emphasize something or reiterate something that is a notorious fact. Government all over the world don't create jobs. What government does is they create an enabling environment. Okay. You know, the government, the infrastructures. If we have electricity in this country, we're working 24 hours. working. Nigeria is a haven for investors.
Yes, it is.
Nigeria is an attraction. You know, so it's God has endowed us with that. All government has to do is to provide such facilities. Nigerians are crying when the GSM started. Some of the service providers like MTN and the rest of them cried and said, look, this is how much we're spending on power. You cannot, it's not justifiable. This is the reason the prices are this way.
They had to make some profit after all.
So you see, we must allow governments to create the enabling environment.
But then the power problem was there, and it's still there now. So what was happening? Yeah, why was the charge that so high then, and is it suddenly crashed? Is it competition?
One of them is competition. Okay. Anyway, you know, there's competitiveness in the communication sector right now, and there's still improvement. But I think that if there's adequate power supply in Nigeria, Nigerians will still enjoy lower rates as far as lower tariff as far as communication is concerned.
Do you think a lot of these agencies should be really privatized? Like, should we have this Surep is still a government initiative? Why? Because it reports to the executive arm of the government, since it was instituted by them. Do you think we should have more agencies that are privatized to fix all these issues and maybe reap the senators and the lawmakers off the avenue?
You see, the Surep. Well, I want to make the fact clear that this is my personal opinion. I'm not a member of that, and I don't even work for anybody.
I was almost wondering because
this is my personal. I've observed. You see, I haven't observed our system. You know, it's easy for people to just shout down on policies and initiatives. Oh, that's rubbish. That is another scheme. That is another manipulation by government. That is easy because that is what we're used to. Okay. But we should, as much as we can, be objective in analysis sometimes. I've taken a look, you know, at the programs of Surep and when it all started, the crisis surrounding the subsidy and all that, the antecedent, the fallout of the Surep, this is what we want to use the money for and all that, and we're appointing such a person and all. So I followed it and I felt, oh, wait a minute, this can work. Why not support? Let's support this and watch it again. We are aware. Nigerians have become more aware than never before, you have never experienced in our history before.
From Occupy Nigeria.
So it's no longer the jamboree thing that, you know, another portfolio or another enterprise is created for a few. No. Nigerians now can ask questions. We can investigate. So, but it's a good initiative. You have that all over the world. I take an example of the United Kingdom. I don't know what they're called, but you see, there was the Heathrow Terminal 5. Heathrow Airport is the busiest airport in the world. Heathrow used to have Terminal 1 to 4 before. But, you know, because the revenue that Heathrow Airport generates to the British economy, it's something out of this world. So they know it's the investment. They took advantage of it. They felt there was need to expand the terminal, to create terminal. Do you know what was budgeted for Terminal 5? It was £8 billion that was used in building just one terminal. How did it come about? Such a committee set up. How can the assets of government be used for the good of the people? It's not just solely on the Prime Minister to decide or to think this is where it should be. No, set up is an initiative. Look, let's have a body to say, look at the key projects, what I call monumental projects that Nigeria can benefit, hospital, roads, and all that we have been dragging on for too long because of our system, our bureaucratic system and all that. Let's get out of this and let's make progress. No government can make progress with the kind of system we have, administrative system we have in place.
Which is already in rot.
Yes, which is already in rot.
We need to go, Mr. Jude. Wow, how passionate Mr. Jude Obidi has talked about this issue, the reviewing President Jonathan's Surep program. I want to say thank you so much for that energy. That was
it's my pleasure.
I mean, I think we need to give them more time. We need to give them more time and watch closely. And then I must point out that they need to also give us some more information of the activities, which is what Nigerians deserve. So if you're out there, you're a youth, you need to be interested in issues like this, because these are the people that are championing the cause of our future existence. They are the ones, you know, in control of what happens in our tomorrow. So we need to be interested and ask questions where necessary. You've been watching The Agenda, and the topic again is reviewing President Jonathan's Surep program. You know what to do. Send your comments to agenda@loverplusnews.net. We'll join you again, same time, same station next week. My name is Philip Ihaza. Bye for now.